We are out here at my little hiding spot that I like to fly at. You know, it's kind of like a little fishing hole, a little secret spot. I could bring you out here, but once we leave, I got to kill you, you know. Hey, swear to God, I think the universe is lining up against me. I've tried to do this intro like 10 times. Every single time something happens. Last time, I stood out here in my backyard looking like a big dumbass for 10 minutes, talking, running my mouth. I didn't even hit the damn record button. Golly. But I figured this time we're going to get out of the cave in there, get out of the darkness, maybe go fly a little something. I know you guys are probably even wondering if I even know how to fly anything. I'm beginning to wonder the same thing. It's been so long. I don't know, I might remember what those gimbals do. But I've kind of had a little bit of a disadvantage since I don't really have a cameraman or nothing. I'm kind of a one-man band. The only thing I got is this little cheap action camera that I got off of eBay probably about 2 years ago. I've used it to go fishing and stuff. It does okay. They say it'll film in 1080, 30 frames a second, and they even say it might even do 720, 60 frames a second, but that's going to be about my best option to go and video anything, so I think maybe I'll do that. Yeah, so I got the batteries charging in there. Once those are done, we're going to head up to a local little field that I like flying at, and we're gonna see how it does. I'm gonna put that camera on my head and, you know, see how it turns out. Maybe it'll work, maybe it won't. Ooh, there's my batteries right now. They're beeping. Let's go do this. All right, what up, guys? We are out here at my little hideaway spot. I like to come out here and fly every now and then with my foamies and some small airplanes that I can kind of just hand launch. You know, got a street right here if I got something that I absolutely have to take off with if it's got wheels, but got the Hummer out here, and this Hummer is a Red Eagle model. Picked it up off of Value Hobby. If you guys aren't familiar with Value Hobby, I'll put some links in the description below to some of the things that I got for this model. It's just like any other EPP foamy. Goes together fairly easy. I'm gonna go ahead and tell you right out the gate, the directions suck. As a matter of fact, I can't remember if they came with the directions or if I had to find them. I don't know. I have to look and see when I get home. But there is a S-Bach version of this that my buddy bought, and the directions, the only ones that we could find in existence were in Chinese, and we wound up having to use Google Photos or Google Translate to just try to figure out what the CG was. Once we got it put together, figured out where the CG was, it flew absolutely amazing. This one flies really, really good, and all of that for under $100. So Value Hobby, you can get this kit and a speed control, two servos, four servos, and everything that you need, even the motor, for less than $100. So just to have something to, you know, go and fly around on a day like this when you get off work and you want to just you know, come home and grab something. I wouldn't recommend leaving it in your car at work when it's 95 degrees because, well, you'll have a warped POS when you come back out. But let's get on to the video while I'm out here. Well, besides the fly, but let me get this headgear on, let me get this camera booted up, and let's take a look and let's see if we can get some decent video of this. Right now the sun's behind me. It should be pretty good. It just cleared up just now. When I pulled up, it was kind of overcast and funky, so hopefully it'll look pretty good. I have my doubts about the 1080p 30 frames per second though. I don't think it's going to be good enough. 720, 60, man, that might be okay, but we're gonna see. Stand by. Alrighty guys, here we go. This is on 1080p at 30 frames a second, and I just realized I have no idea if any of this is in frame, but I guess we're gonna find out. this is a fun little video anyway. I guess it really don't make a damn. And of course, I'm sure the audio quality is just freaking amazing. But let's see what happens. Here we go. Ooh, a little breezy out there, wasn't it? Yeah, we'll do a little bit of trimming here. See if we can bring it back down here to earth where you guys can see it. Well, that's pretty good. It's a little bit tail heavy. Just like any foamy, it don't like the wind. But if you can catch a pretty nice day, you'll have a good time with it. It's twitchy. I'm gonna give it that. So if you can pay attention to the manual, follow your rates. I wouldn't go much more than what they recommend. So, but it's got a lot of spunk to it. It's got a lot of spunk to it. And when you kill the throttle, it'll just come glide right on in. Really nice. I hope you guys can see this, because I really have no idea if any of this is in frame, which kind of freaking sucks. At least when you have a cameraman, you can kind of tell, you know, he follows along with it. With this, I'm just kind of out here just flying, and whatever happens, happens. So I'll probably cut these flights a little bit short for the first ones for these videos, just so I'm, you know, not boring you guys with 30 minutes of me just goofing off with a little foamy. Oh my God, do you guys see those bugs? Right before I cut the camera on, I got hit with a swarm of these little terrible little bugs. I see them every now and then when I mow the yard, and man, they were terrible. They don't like to hover in the wind at all. I'm just going to be quiet and just fly a little bit, toss it around, and just let it do what it do. Meanwhile, I got bugs crawling on my damn eyebrows. Oh my goodness. See if I can bring it by kind of quick a little bit here. See if we can see what that 30 frames a second is going to look like. Bugs. Oh my goodness. Golly, can you guys see these bugs? This is, oh, they're tickling my nose. This is terrible. It's kind of distracting. All right, that's it. Let me change the battery, guys. Let me change the setting on this. I'll come back. We'll do another run with the 720 60. And as you can tell probably right now, there's no stabilization on this POS, so I'm sure it's probably bouncing all over the place with this thing on my head pretty good. So just hang tight. Let me get this switched around. Alrighty. So this is 720 and 60 frames a second. You'll probably notice it looks a little bit smoother. But you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and say something. These little blue servos, I don't know if you can see them. Maybe I'll point them out later, but these little blue servos, if you can get better servos, get better servos, because these things, these little $4 or $5 servos, they're really jerky. They're not all that great, but you know, if you're trying to build a plane under $100, by all means get them. But if you can get you a decent set of little high-techs or something, maybe something that's got the carbonite gears, or if you wasn't really concerned with the weight, you could get you some that had a metal gear. Yeah, if nothing else, get some with metal gears on the tail. For some reason, the rudder always tends to beat these servos to death, and you'll replace 5 servos off of the rudder before any of the others will go out. So keep that in mind. Little plastic servos like that just don't do well on a rudder. But here we go. As you can see, it don't lack power at all. Alrighty, so let's bring it by kind of slow here. Let's see if we can tell a difference on the video. See if we can tell a difference in, I would imagine the 1080 at the 30 frames a second probably look pretty choppy. The plane might be a little blurry as it flies by. Got a decent headwind that way now. Yeah, breeze is picking up now. Hope you guys can see this if it's in frame. Sorry guys, I don't really talk much when I fly, because if you're like me, it's kind of hard to talk and chew gum at the same time. So sometimes I have a tendency to just drift off into the flight and just pay attention to what I'm doing and enjoy the moment. I don't know about you guys, but sometimes I'm just kind of comfortable with that awkward silence that everybody else doesn't like. So let's come by again. The reason why I'm doing some passes kind of close when it comes by, I want to see how the video does, if it looks blurry. That 30 frames a second is where you're really going to see anything. 30 frames a second is not good for anything moving fast. I've taken this camera fishing before, where I'm just sitting in the kayak and just fishing. There's not really anything moving, and 1080 does really well for that. I mean, it's not GoPro really well, but for a sub $100 camera, it didn't do too bad. 720 does a lot better as far as not being blurry when objects are moving by, but it's also 720, so. I can't say enough good things about this plane. If you go on Value Hobby and they've got them in stock and you want to get one, don't hesitate. You're going to love it. Maybe even get you 2 of them. Just be ready to have to do a little research. Whenever I get home, I'm going to see if I can remember where I downloaded the manual from. I might put a link to it in the description of it also. So, but I hope you guys can hear me all right. Like I said, I'm pretty sure that this audio is just absolutely top quality crap. Let's see what we got here. Well guys, I'm gonna leave it right there. I'm sure we got enough footage of this. We're gonna find out. I'm gonna go back home. First I'm gonna fly a few more rounds with this bad boy, but I'm gonna take a look at the footage. I'll do a little assessment at the end, and I'll put it all together for you guys, and we'll figure out if this headset, this camera, is worth keeping. I mean, naturally it's not going to be as good as a GoPro, and with it being a few years old, there's other better stuff out there that's still sub $100. I mean, you can get they got some now that claim they're 4K, but their 1080 will do 120 or 240 frames a second. So maybe take a look at one of those. But that's it, guys. I'm gonna get out of here for now, go fly a few more rounds. There's those damn bugs again, but I'll talk to you in a minute. Alrighty, well, we're back at the workbench here, and I took a look at some of the footage. Tell you the truth, they're both crap. The 720 at 60 frames per second did look a little bit better, a little bit smoother than the 1080 did. If that 1080 had 60 frames a second, it might be a little bit better. But two things that I noticed more than anything, more than the frames per second or the resolution, was the fisheye lens. These little cheap action cameras don't have a way to change the lens. I mean, you get 170 degree fisheye lens, wide angle, super wide, and that's all you get. And I guess that kind of helped keep everything in frame. As I was flying, I was kind of commenting that I wasn't sure if it was in frame, and I forgot that this is a it's a wide angle fisheye lens, so that really helped. It would be nice if you could maybe I know the GoPros, you can select some angles, I think like maybe 5 or 6 different ranges that, you know, kind of help narrow it down a little bit. So it's still a little bit of a wide, but not quite so 170 degrees super wide. And I noticed when I was walking that this little bugger right here bounced something crazy, and a couple of times I moved my head kind of fast and it was kind of jerky. Some stabilization would have really helped that. It's not bad, you know, if you want to take it fishing, or if you're going to set it up on a tripod and maybe film a family gathering or the kids in the backyard playing or something like that. But as far as an actual action cam goes, yeah, I don't think this would really cut the mustard. I think I'm gonna take a look on, you know, Amazon, see what the new cameras have now. They've got new 4K cameras. Like I said, they got 1080 that'll do 120, 240 frames a second. They've got 4K that go up to 60 frames a second. They've got stabilization, and a few of them I have noticed you can actually select the angle of the lens so it won't be such a wide view. It won't look so bubbly, you know, because a couple of times I flew out and the plane just got really small, and as it went back around and come back around, it just seemed to do weird things in the video. But if you run across any of these guys, that's my take on that. And I've already told you about the Hummer. If you can get one of those, get it. You won't regret it. It's a fun little plane to fly. Just be aware, there's not a the maintenance manuals just suck. I'm just going to say that. They really do. They suck. But with that being said, guys, if you like the video, you know, as usual, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and until the next episode, peace.